Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They've gone a full half season since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Hurry up, here we go.
On second down, here's Barkley. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. On the defensive side, these are the starters for New Orleans. And they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Murray now. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. That's complete to John Ross. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
A first down carry for Barkley. And a solid run down inside the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago. 21 carries, 110 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
To throw on second down, Murray. And he floated one out there incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. And it's 3rd and short.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Spencer Ware's numbers on the ground a week ago. 17 carries, 69 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. And that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago. And another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Foles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's Foles. And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Murray, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun, Murray. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And it's fielded at the 34. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Foles. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll drop the throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
On first down, Murray. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 56 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Here's a give to Barkley. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
3-19.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
On 2nd and goal, here's an option play left. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This will be fielded at the 17. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here we go now.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-0 is our score, and we're back to Soldier Field after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Let's go.
On first down, they go option. Murray fighting, lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. Murray. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Murray. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish tight matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I said just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. 3rd down here.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2.
Let's go. Blue Lightning.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Now let's go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
All right, here we go. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run now with Ware. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They'll look to throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Saints on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He'll look to throw. On target over the middle to Hill. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's complete right around the 8. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll set up a throw, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Josh Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are back within a score. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Gostkowski the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw again. Murray. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski. Complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To Barkley on the check down. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hill. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Looking to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers would tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Now let's go. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field.
Here we go.
Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He finds Coleman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Murray. Man open underneath, it's Gronkowski. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Set. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down, Murray. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Tucker now to add the point after. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. He'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, as the 1st half is winding down, and the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the 1st half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Gostkowski for the point after. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been effective and they're winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent. And, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well. And right now, he's the focal point of it.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it's the Texans out in front as that one is just about to halftime. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes. We'll stay in the AFC North as we head over to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Jalen Richard, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Open man is Hill. He's got it. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Now a hit and falls, loses the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They run again with Ware. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Foles. He's got it. This is Ware. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. On the run, it's Ware. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Spencer Ware, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. 2nd effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
The point after try for Gostkowski. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And we are tied at 21. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off by a Spencer Ware touchdown run. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10th. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll go option to the short side. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Murray steps away to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run it here. Ware. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Here's Foles. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and now it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better than it hits the ground, instead going to an opposite color jersey.
They'll leave this for Ware. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded just inside the 30. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Murray. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Foles. Smith catches left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Foles now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers. You know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On play action, they'll throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Extra point try for Gostkowski. Gostkowski with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Now let's go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 3rd down. Murray looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Let's go. 3-19.
A handoff to Barkley.
3-19.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray drops it off for Coleman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on third on the field.
Could they blitz?
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
Off play action. Murray. Caught left side Hopkins. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go now. Green 39, green 39.
Off the play fake. Murray. This is caught. Gronkowski. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
I know one thing. The team that had the ball and was driving, they're going to feel horrible. But the team that was on defense, I think we got to give them a little bit of credit, able to hang in there and force a key turnover.
In the red zone, though, had a chance to tie it, and an opportunity missed. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
And it's a fumble. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. The offense on third down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll run it now out of the gun.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And they'll run it here. Only able to make it to the 15 after the nice move. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. in the air on second down. Murray. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski. Complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley.
Hurry up, here we go.
Murray now. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Alex Anzalone able to run him down for a loss of a yard. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Murray got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Rob Gronkowski with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And an alley to run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line.
And this is going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now Saquon Barkley. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray wide open. Gronkowski. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On the run, it's Barkley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
This is Barkley. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. He's back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. If he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years.